Emma, and I'm back with another video. I have not been as consistent on this channel recently, and I really want to get back on a regular upload schedule. I want to have more regular content for you guys, so I'm sorry that I have been kind of neglecting this channel a little bit. And in today's video, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've been wanting to remake the video I made about each ascendant sign because that video I left out some important information, and I also think that some of it is a little bit unclear. So it's been something I wanted to do for quite a bit of time now. So it's been private, and I'm going to go over all of the signs again in this video and just clear some stuff up. So if you are not already following me and you're interested in astrology or spirituality at all, I am also a tarot reader as well as an astrologer. Make sure that you hit the subscribe and bell button, and you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more content similar to this. All right, let's get into the video. The ascendant sign, also referred to as the rising sign, is an extremely important part of the chart, and a lot of people don't realize this because there has been so much hype over sun sign astrology because of things like daily horoscopes and trendy pop entertainment astrology. But this all started as entertainment for the royal family in more modern times with creating daily horoscopes, and the sun sign was used because you don't have to know any extra information about yourself to know your sun sign other than your date of birth, and everyone knows their birth date. You don't have to know your time of birth or location, so everyone is able to know their sun sign. So that's how the importance of sun signs in astrology originated. But the sun in your chart doesn't hold any extra significance compared to any other planet, and it is not the core of your identity. Now, if anything, the ascendant sign could be seen as the most important or more important because it's really the foundation of the chart, because your ascendant sign is your first house. It is the sign of your first house, and the first house is yourself. It's your physical body. It's your appearance. It's very much you, whereas the rest of the chart is your external experiences. It's other people in your life and experiences that shape you. But your ascendant sign is extremely important because it's your first house, the house of self, your physical body, and then all of the houses fall into order after that. So if you know someone's ascendant sign, you can know a lot more about them than their sun sign. So in this video, I'm going to go over all of the ascendant signs in order, and I'll leave timestamps. But I also just want to note, if you have any planets in your first house, that is going to add the energy or the flavor of that planet to your ascendant sign as well. Also, if you have any planets aspecting your ascendant, that will add that extra flavor to your ascendant as well. So just keep that in mind, and let's get into the video. Okay, starting with Aries rising sign. So Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is this planet of action, aggression. It's this warrior planet that is really all about forward movement. So Aries people have a lot of powerful energy. They are also a fire sign. So a lot of the time these people like to stay active and they like to be moving. They don't like to be sitting in one place for too long. They get bored easily. They want to have something to do. And they typically are more health conscious and like to work out as a way to get out that energy. They typically like to either go to the gym or stay active with outdoor activities maybe, or competitive sports. That's a huge thing for Aries types of people because they're very competitive. And Aries is also more blunt and upfront with how they feel. It's a fire sign, and fire has this intensity, and you can't control fire. Fire is just going to do what it wants to do. And Aries rising people, unless we see other aspects going on or other planets in the first house, typically these people are more blunt, more upfront with how they feel. They're not going to sugarcoat anything. And they have this intensity to them, and that could be a little bit overwhelming or intimidating for some of the more passive signs. Maybe some of the water signs, they could feel intimidated by this, but they don't mean any harm by it, but it can come off as a lot for some people, but they just want to be real, be upfront. They don't want to waste any time. They just want to say it how it is, get out how they feel, and just like fire, light up and just as easily be put out. So that is really the energy of Aries, very competitive, likes to stay active and busy, has a lot of energy, and more direct and upfront. Taurus rising people. These people are very grounded. They come off usually as more practical, more down-to-earth types of people because they are an earth sign and they have this very comforting, grounded energy. And they're all about security, stability, comfort, and beauty because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of beauty and also love. And Taurus types of people, they are thought of, and kind of it's a stereotype that they're more lazy, and that's not really the case. They just love to be comfortable. They love creating this world around them that is a sanctuary, especially in their home where they just always feel cozy and at peace. They love all of anything that can ignite the senses. Taurus people love that. That's why they're also thought of to really love food and indulging in food, because that is one of the comforts of the physical world. So good smelling things, good food, good atmosphere, good music, anything to ignite the senses. But they have this energy where you first meet them where they just are usually come off as much more relaxed and approachable, very real and grounded, reliable types of people. Gemini Rising. Gemini people are very mental because they're ruled by the planet Mercury, and Mercury is this planet of the mind, learning, and our communication, our speech. It's very mental and analytical about things. So Gemini Rising people tend to have a very curious mind, love mental stimulation, love researching things and finding out new information, exchanging ideas. They are really, a lot of the times more chatty and talkative and like to be social, but not always, because we have to consider the whole chart in full. But that is the typical energy of Gemini. So really liking to exchange ideas, talk to people about new findings and research that they've done and areas of interest, and needing a lot of that mental stimulation and communication about these ideas. Cancer rising people usually come off as more shy and inward. Cancer is a water sign and is more careful and timid a little bit with fully being vocal or expressing themselves around people that they don't know in different situations where it's maybe an unfamiliar place with different people, new people that they're not used to yet. So typically Cancer rising people can come across as more shy and maybe more to themselves. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is all about our emotions, being very emotionally in tune and nurturing. So Cancer rising people usually have this very nurturing energy as well, and are more tuned in with emotions and other people's emotions around them, and can usually pick up on the energy of other people and how they're feeling, even if the other people are not verbally saying it, especially if they have other Cancer placements in the chart. And they are typically going to be more careful with how they express themselves and come off, usually because they want to be considerate and mindful of the people around them and how what they say, if that is going to impact them in a positive way or a negative way. So they're just more mindful and careful about that when in regards to emotions and feelings. And especially so if someone has their Mercury in Cancer as well, they're going to be even more careful with how they express themselves around other people and how they communicate. And they are Cancer types of people have this motherly feeling, this nurturing energy, wanting to make people feel comfortable around them and make people feel at home. Cancer is very much about the home and family and just this warmth, very understanding and nurturing way about them. Leo Rising. Now, Leo Rising people, typically they get noticed, they shine, because Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is always shining and is always noticed, and that is the same with Leo Rising people. Typically, Leo Rising people have big hair and really nice hair. That's a common trait with Leo Rising people. Now, not all the time, but that's just something that a lot of Leo Rising people tend to have. And Leo Rising people have this charisma. They just have this way about them where they walk into a room, they will be noticed, they will light up the room. They are very warm, very bubbly typically, and talkative, can be more dramatic types of people, because Leo is more dramatic. Leo is ruled by the sun. Leo needs to shine and be the center of attention. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this would not be the case for you. I know several Leo rising people who are not extremely outgoing, but they also have other energy going on in their chart that explains that. But if you are a typical Leo rising with no other placements in the chart that contradict that, then you will be showing up as more outgoing, more dramatic, more naturally just getting a lot of attention. The thing about Leos is they crave attention, they want attention, but a lot of the times they just have this way about them where they naturally get it and are noticed without even really trying. Leos are also very romantic, all about romance and fun, and they also typically are very pretty, and especially Leo rising women and also men, they really like to pay attention to their physical appearance. So have nice clothes and makeup, and just they care about how they present themselves. And since the rising sign is how you're showing up in your first appearance and your physical self, a lot of the times Leo rising people tend to put some extra work and effort into how they're looking physically. Virgo rising. Typically, people who have a Virgo rising are very health conscious. They're very concerned about health, staying fit, and they care about their body and how they physically look, and they like to stay in shape. Now, they also like to usually care about what they're putting into their body and staying healthy. I noticed this trend a lot with Virgo rising people. They like to be healthy overall. And Virgo is also this sign about being very practical and having a day-to-day routine and structure and being very organized. And that's a way that they keep themselves sane, because Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, and this is a very mental planet, and Virgos can be prone to overthinking. So for them, having a routine and a schedule really helps them to stay sane, so they kind of don't go crazy. And Virgo rising people, they are usually very intelligent, and they like to talk about things that they have learned. They like to research. They like to analyze things. They like to gain more knowledge. And this is similar with Gemini, because Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. It just has a different flavor there. Virgo tends to be more practical with this knowledge and more about the fine details, and Gemini just likes to get their hands in everything and learn everything that they can, but aren't as diligent about the research. But Virgo likes to just gain all of this knowledge, and once they're interested in something, they want to learn everything that there is to learn about it, and that's why they are typically very intelligent. Libra ascendant people are usually very graceful. They have a lot of charm about how they come across, and a lot of grace with how they approach people in conversations. When they first meet people, they have this charisma and this way about them that just makes people feel comfortable and happy and at peace in their presence. They have this very sweet nature typically. They're ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and beauty. So usually Libra ascendant people, they care about their appearance. They really want to have nice outfits and take time to do their hair or makeup and take care of themselves and how they physically look. And they just tend to be more balanced with the way that they come across with people, because Libra is the sign of the scales, all about balance and harmony. So that is why they communicate with such grace and how they come across to people, because they really they're all about relationships and establishing balance, healthy balance in their relationships in their life, and not just romantic relationships, any relationships with friends and family or anyone that they meet. That is really the theme of Libra. So they are usually very pleasant people to have a conversation with. They typically are really going to listen to you and make you feel heard and comfortable, and very sweet natured usually, and just have this sense of charm and beauty about them. Scorpio ascendants. Now, Scorpio ascendants usually have this mysterious quality about them, and usually this is through their eyes. So a common theme with Scorpio ascendants is they have these piercing eyes that just pull people in, and they don't even try to be mysterious. It's not something that they're consciously doing, but they just have this magnetic pull where people want to know more about them, and they are really drawn into their Scorpio energy. But Scorpio ascendants are usually more reserved into themselves. They are usually the ones sitting back, observing a situation, and not giving too much information about themselves, especially if they don't know the people that they're around. If it's a new environment with new people and they are trying to feel it out, they like to sit back, feel out a situation, see if they can trust the people there, and see if they feel comfortable enough to open up a little bit more. But the thing about Scorpio energy in general is they're always testing the waters. They're always taking mental notes and seeing how much they can trust someone, observing people's behaviors. Scorpio is really about the human psyche and understanding people, understanding the mind, and they really love to research into things to just understand parts of life, especially the darker, more hidden parts of life. And they are always kind of observing things and testing to see if it's safe to open up more and be more emotionally vulnerable, because Scorpio is this very intense water sign with a lot of depth of emotion, and Scorpios tend to have this fear of being emotionally vulnerable because they really want to protect themselves. So that's why Scorpio energy is more not as out there with expressing themselves. So they will usually come across as these very alluring, mysterious people in the back who are very intriguing. Sagittarius rising people. These people tend to be very optimistic because Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet all about luck and abundance and optimism. And Jupiter is also about higher thinking and higher learning and those abstract beliefs and gaining knowledge through experience and travel. So Sagittarius ascendants are usually very optimistic, and they like to see the brighter side of things, the more positive sides of things, and they'll usually try to uplift other people. So if people are, the people they're around, if they're complaining or down about something, Sagittarius will try to uplift them, a lot of the times by saying things like, well, this is all for a greater lesson, the greater purpose of life, and bring up the meaning of life and try to relate it to a bigger picture lesson, and try to just see it from a higher perspective, because Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, is also about philosophy, religion, and also spirituality. So that's a lot of what Sagittarius risings kind of bring to the table, and what they how they come across. And especially if there's other Sagittarius in the chart, or Jupiter, or strong Jupiter aspects in the chart, then that's really going to emphasize that. But Sagittarius in general really loves travel, expanding the mind, learning through experiences, teaching, and higher learning, growing. And they also really like to be active. A lot of the time, Sagittarius ascendants like to be active, a lot of the times be out in nature, and they're usually more extroverted, and they like to be more social and talk to a lot of people, make new friends, very charismatic. And of course, this isn't always the case if we have other stuff going on in the chart, but just typically that's what we'll see with Sagittarius ascendant people. Capricorn Rising. Okay, so this placement, these people tend to be much more serious and mature, have this maturity about them, and they are more about structure and hard work, getting stuff done, because they're ruled by the planet Saturn. And Saturn is known as the strict father of the zodiac, all about hard work, discipline, responsibility, maturity, and getting stuff done. So Capricorn ascendants usually, you can spot them pretty easily because they have this seriousness about just how they come off and their expressions, and they're typically not going to be overly bubbly or talkative. They're going to be usually more reserved, more to themselves, and not as optimistic as Sagittarius, the sign I was just talking about. So they're going to be just more, have this air of seriousness and wanting to get down to business. Aquarius Rising. Okay, Aquarius Rising people really are these people all about being unique, being an individual, having these independent ideas that a lot of the time may go against societal norms because they don't care about the rules and structures within society. A lot of the time, especially if there's a lot of Aquarius placements in the chart, or there's aspects from Uranus to the modern ruler of Aquarius, then these people are not only going to want to have independence and freedom and be free thinkers, but they will actually rebel against these structures in society that separate us or create labels or hold us back, because Aquarius is the sign all about the collective, all about the greater good of humanity. That's why a lot of the time Aquarius is known as humanitarians, because they are considering the bigger picture. Aquarius rising people do not like to be told what to think, what to do, how to live their life. They are very unique in that way, and they need time to reflect on what they're thinking, how they feel. They like to have time alone, but they also a lot of the time have a network of people in their life, friends, acquaintances, people that they just have kind of accumulated in their life, but they are okay with having time and space away from these people and not having these relationships that is consuming their life where they're always around other people. So you can find a lot of the time Aquarius does have this network of people in their life, but they also really need time and space by themselves, and they can be loners in the same vein. Pisces rising people. Okay, Pisces is a water sign and is mutable water, and Pisces is very connected to the emotions. Pisces are just in general, the energy of Pisces is this very compassionate, empathetic energy that wants to heal, wants to give themselves to others, wants to help others. They are excellent healers, very compassionate, very concerned about other people and how they can help other people. So a lot of the time I find people with Pisces ascendants, they can find themselves in situations with friendships or relationships where they can be self-sacrificing, where they care so much and they feel so much of the energy from other people that they can give so much of themselves to others. That's just something that Pisces ascendants needs to be careful of, because it is an amazing quality to be so compassionate, be so empathetic, and care so much, but there's this risk there of overgiving and having that affect your mental health. And Pisces in general, with major Pisces placements, can attract these people who need saving in some way. So it's something to be mindful of. And also Pisces ascendants, since your ascendant, your first house is your physical body. It's really about your physical self and how you take action in life. And since Pisces is not such a active, assertive sign and energy, these people also can find themselves struggling to assert themselves. So they can find themselves going through periods of time where they're isolating or just really withdrawing themselves from life and finding it hard to pull themselves out of that to move forward and assert themselves more. So that's something to be aware of as well. However, these people are usually very spiritually minded, great healers, very empathetic and compassionate, and just very sweet and caring people who have just this very angelic quality about them. Okay, that is it for my analysis of all 12 rising signs. Leave a comment below what your rising sign is and if you related to this video and what maybe I forgot that you would like to add. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.